Crush.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today on Crush Wednesday. Hope that you're all out there. If you're around, then make sure you put a comment, write your name, where you're tuning in from. I would love to see who is on the live today with me.
Hello, everyone.
Let's just turn off my noise so that doesn't affect everyone. Okay, so if you're on the line, then make sure that you put your name in the comments, where you are right now. Maybe you're getting a coffee, I don't know, whatever you're doing right now. Maybe you're at training. I'm just going to share this so that everyone knows that we're live. Hey, Ian, good to have you on. So today, guys, I'm talking all about email marketing. Is it dead? Is it not? What's happening with it? How can you get more people to open your emails? All of those kinds of things. So I've got a question for you. Hey, John. So a question for everyone who's on. I want to know how many unread emails are in your inbox right now. Hey, Sharon, put that in the comments. How many unread emails are in your inbox right now? I want to know the answer. I'm in another group. It's like a web design growth group or something. And they asked everyone to put a screenshot of their mobile phone. And so what happened was, oh, John, 0. Well done. Well done to you. I wasn't expecting that answer. Okay, so yeah, so they asked everyone to put this, a screenshot of their homepage, right? And so they were like, wanted to see, you know, like people, creative people, they like to see what other people are doing. But this whole big thing came about as like people had like 20,000 unread emails in their inbox, messages. I currently have 367 unread text messages on my phone. The amount of, say, Claire, 24,000 or more unread emails. Hi, Omid, good to see you. Sharon has a lot. John says he's obsessed with keeping his inbox clean. I was like you once. And I used to subscribe to Inbox Zero and try and clean it out every day, but just doesn't seem to happen these days. Hey, Sophie, good to have you on the call. So, look, I think the majority of us, there is a portion of people out there who love to keep their inboxes clean, all of that kind of thing, which is great. And keep going with that. I think that's an awesome thing to be doing. But there's a real majority out there of us who have so many unread emails in our inbox. The amount of emails that we're deleting without even opening them is really, really astonishing. And so lots of people asking the question, is email marketing dead? And really, I've been in this game, I reckon 7 or 8 years now, the email marketing game. And we've been asking the same question all of this time, is email marketing dead? So there's, I got a statistic today, right? 53% of people say they receive too many irrelevant emails from companies. That's more than half the people, okay? So when we're talking 24,000 unread emails in our inbox, they're pretty much irrelevant emails to us. They're the emails that we don't care about. They haven't got our attention. They haven't, really like captured us in any way. And so we're just like, whatever, I don't care about that. And really, that's how we're living now. We're living with 24,000 unread emails in our inbox, and we're okay with that most of the time. Okay, so clearly some people are not doing email marketing right, okay, because there's so many people who just can't be bothered. I'm not sure I was around at the start of email marketing, but I've been in the game for a while. But I do remember a time in my high school days when I signed up for a Hotmail account, and it was like the most exciting thing in the world to get an email. And, 20 plus years down the track, I'm like, oh, another email in my inbox that I have to reply to. And that's how people are thinking. And so I think it's really important, and what I really want to talk about today, which a lot of my points today are kind of come back to relevance and being relevant in people's inboxes, okay? So you'll be really surprised to know that email marketing is actually, or still has, higher conversion rates than social media and SEO, okay? So there's still something happening in our inbox where we believe that the people who are emailing us are trusted. They have the, so when people are getting past our filters, because we all have a lot of filters, whether you have actual filters set up in your email or whether you have filters just set up in your mind to go delete, 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 people are still getting past our filters and we're still converting an email. So there's some people who are definitely doing this right, and they're using some of these points that I'm going to talk about today. Hey, Adrian, good to have you on the live. So we're talking all about email marketing. So I asked the question, how many unread emails are in your inbox right now? If you haven't answered, put that in the comments. I want to know. Hey, Kylie, thank you. I thought I'd wear my hat today. Thanks for the compliment. So yeah, if you are just joining, we're talking about email marketing. Tell me how many unread emails you have in your inbox. I want to know, because it tells a lot about, what our attention is kind of tuned to, okay? So relevance is everything. You cannot these days hit send all and send an email to every person on your database with all of the same information. It's just not going to work. That worked in the 90s, and it's not going to work in 2019, in 2020, in 2021. People are really getting smarter than that. So really what that means, I boil it down to three things, okay? You have to email the right person at the right time with the right content, okay? That seems pretty simple, but then in reality, it can't be. So imagine this, imagine you're, in your email database, you have a whole array of people, okay? You've got people who are young, you've got people who are older, you've got females, you've got males, you've got mums who just had a baby, you've got guys who want to put on some muscle, you've got all sorts of people. And what you're doing is you're just sending out one message to everyone, and you're expecting that that's going to hit people in the right way at the right time, and they're just going to want to come and train with you or come to your studio or that kind of thing. We actually need to think beyond that, and we need to think a little bit smarter. Yes, it's going to take a little bit more time, and sometimes it is really easy just to go, I'm just going to send it to every single one of my lists. That is when you're going to get the lowest open rates, the lowest click-through rates. You're not going to get engagement. You're not going to get people emailing you back, okay? Hey, Varalee, good to have you on. We're talking about email marketing today. So if you want, put in how many unread emails you have in your inbox right now. So my first point when we're talking about relevancy and being relevant is segmentation is key, okay? So what we need to be doing is making sure that our lists are really segmented, okay? That they're based on people's behaviors, their demographics, and also dynamic content, okay? So these three things are really important, and I think in the past, we've done very well in kind of segmenting in terms of demographics. We can tell if someone is male or female, we can tell where they live, all of those kinds of things. But what we can actually do now, and really just because, hey Sally, good morning, hope you're feeling good today. So really what we want to do is make sure that we're using all the technology that we have, really in a smart way. So we can actually see a lot of different behaviors now with our email marketing platform. So we can see whether people are opening our emails, whether they're clicking through on our emails. If you're using ActiveCampaign, you can see things like what pages they're visiting on your website, which is actually just such a fantastic thing to be able to see. Sally says, yes, the drugs are working. Fantastic. Sorry, I forgot to say this in the beginning. If you didn't know, I am actually an ActiveCampaign certified consultant. Okay, so I've been in the marketing automation game for quite a while and spent a lot of time in ActiveCampaign, and so it's always my email software of choice. I think MailChimp is great. Everyone loves the little monkey, and actually MailChimp has gotten far better in the years that I've been doing email marketing, but I still love ActiveCampaign. I think it's great for small businesses. But anyway, so really ActiveCampaign makes it super easy to be able to segment people based on their behavior. And this is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Okay, so if someone is opening and clicking on a lot of your emails, if they're visiting certain pages on your website, if they're looking at certain content, all of those kinds of things can be triggers to then send them even better information and to kind of collect a lot more information. When I'm doing behavior segmentation, I try a lot of the time. What I'll do is I might send out one email and it's got say 4 different articles or 4 different videos that we've done, that kind of thing. So you might have a video that you've done on prenatal workouts. You might have a video you've done on bulking up. You might have a video you've done on nutrition. So you send out one email with all of these different links, not more than 4, okay? You want kind of to get all of your content into kind of a certain amount of categories. I like the amount 4. It's just easy to deal with. And then what you can do is, as people click on those things, you can tag them in your email marketing software. If you're using ActiveCampaign, you can do this automatically. If you're using other email marketing, then you might be able to get a list of like everyone that's clicked on a certain article, and you can tag those people. But what that means is you can start to build up a bit of a profile of that person and what they're interested in, okay? And then you can start to segment, and we can start to use what I mentioned before is dynamic content. Dynamic content is one of my favorite things, because what you can do is, based on people's segment, you can actually send one email but with different content for different people. So really what that does is just really help with time. Like, you know, we can't be sending out hundreds of emails every day, but you could send out one email, and depending on what people's category preferences are, if people are interested in nutrition, then the dynamic content in that email would put in nutrition information, okay? It sounds fancy, but actually it's very, very easy to do with ActiveCampaign. And for a long time, ActiveCampaign were the only people who are doing this. So if you want a stat, if you're a numbers person, segmenting emails can increase your revenue by 760%. Okay, that's 760%. Okay, people are different. They have different needs, and you need to address those needs through segmentation so that people will open your emails, engage with your emails, buy from you, which is always a really nice thing in emails. So just start to be aware of the different ways that you could segment people. That might be through demographics, that might also be through behavior. Now, one of the things that actually we have started doing at COM is in all of our forms, so any forms that are on our website, anytime we're kind of intaking information, is we've just added a couple of new fields. One of those is avatar. We don't call it avatar, but we just say, I think the question is, which best describes you? And so we have personal trainer, studio owner, gym owner, and then other. And so what that's really allowing us to do is to start to segment our database even further than just fitness and wellness professionals. But we can now talk to a personal trainer compared to a studio owner or compared to a gym owner, because all those people are different. And they all have different needs, and they all have different aspirations and that kind of thing. So think of different ways that you can find this out. And if you've got a small database and it's just your clients, then maybe you can just go through and you might know these things about people and you can just enter it manually. So that's segmentation. It's really key. It's really, really important. So that's number one in my email marketing tips. Now, don't forget, if you do have any questions, make sure you pop them in the comments. And interact with me. I'd love to know what your problems are with email marketing, that kind of thing. And maybe you've got some great tips or some great ways to get people to open your emails. I'd love to hear those as well. Okay, so number two, if you're ready for number two, type 2 in the comments, guys. So number 2 is automations. Okay, I love automations. Everyone knows that. I am the automation queen here at Com Marketing, not Active Campaign. But automations traditionally have been based around timelines. Okay, everyone kind of knows this kind of automation sequence. Send one email, wait 1 day. Send email 2, wait another day. Send email 3, wait another day. And that's been fine for a very long time, and that seemed very smart to do that kind of thing. But what we're seeing now is a real move to automation based on behaviors, not based on timelines, which is really important, and really ties into segmentation, because what people want, when we're talking about relevancy, is they want the right email at the right time. And so if you're just sending emails based on timelines, so maybe somebody signs up to your newsletter or you send them a free thing, and then it's like day after day after day they're getting emails, but they never read email 1. And so now they come to their 24,000 unread emails and they're like, now I've got 5 emails to read. And that's really just too much. So it's like delete, 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 delete all 5 emails, and you've lost them. Okay, because those emails didn't come at the right time. They weren't the right timing for that person. So, so what you want to do is base your automations on people's behaviors. So if you've got an automation sequence like send email 1, wait 1 day, send email 2, wait another day, maybe we could change it around to send email 1, wait until email 1 is opened, and then wait a day, and then send a different email. And then what you can do is say, hey, I noticed you read email 1. Here is a follow-up. Lots of people ask this question about nutrition or about training, and so I thought I might send this to you, but you already know they've opened email 1. Then what you can do is if people haven't opened the email in, say, a few days, you might send it again. And you might say, hey, I noticed you missed this. Maybe it got caught up in 24,000 unread emails, something like that. And maybe use a different subject to capture their attention. So what you're doing is you are really basing your automations around people's behavior of whether they're opening an email, whether they're clicking on an email. One thing I love to do, if you've got an ebook or something that people download, what I love to do is actually base that automation around whether people clicked and opened it or they didn't. Because what a lot of people do when they've got a free ebook or something like that is they send email 1 with the free ebook, and then on day 2 they say, hey, hope you're really enjoying that ebook, but that person might not have even opened that email. And so that second email is definitely not relevant to them, okay? So what you can do if you've got an ebook or something like that is you can, so what you can do is send email 1, that's gonna be day 1, it's the delivery, okay? Then you wanna split it up. So on day 2, you just check, have they opened that email? Have they clicked to download? If they have, then send them email 2. If they haven't, then send them a quick reminder. Hey, I know life gets really busy, but I noticed that you opted to download this, but you haven't quite got to it yet. Just wanted to send you the link again. Maybe you missed it. Okay, these are the kinds of little things that you can do to change up your automations so that they're based around the behaviors of people and not their timelines. This is how you get to the right person at the right time with the right content, guys. And this is how you are super relevant to people. So that's number 2. Now, Ian has asked the question, we generally email everyone and get about 25% open rate. Would we get much better if we segmented? 25% is still good. So as an industry standard, we're looking at about 30%. But what I would say is, yes, if you segmented people and just kind of think about the different avatars you have. I know that you have your kind of like that prenatal kind of thing. You have a few others. So I would try and like fit people into different segments and just see how you go. I would find on average you'll get a higher open rate, and actually really what we're looking for here is a higher engagement rate. So even if you're still getting 25% open rate, but you're getting higher clicks, you're getting more people clicking through to book in or to, whatever you're wanting with that email, I think you'll find you'll get really much higher at that point in the engagement, okay? So John Hyatt says he has no idea about open rate. That's totally okay. So any of your email marketing software, if you're using MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Campaign Monitor, Drip, whatever they are, they'll always kind of tell you in the reports what your open rate is. So it's always good to check. I often, it's about 30% on average and actually dropping. So if you're getting anywhere above 30%, you're going to do really well. When you segment emails and actually automation emails, so emails that are sent on an automation, you're going to get a much higher open rate and click-through rate on those. All right, so I'm going to take a quick drink. That's number 1. Segmentation is key. Number 2, automation based on behaviors, not timelines. Let me know if you're ready for number 3. Put 3 in the comments, guys. 3 in the comments. And if you're liking this, give it a little thumbs up or a little heart. I'd love to see those coming up on my screen. Okay, so number 3 is hyper-personalization. So I've been talking about personalization. Claire is definitely ready for 3. So I've been talking about personalization in email marketing probably since 2016. But really what I'm talking about here is going beyond, hey, first name, have you ever got an email like that? And maybe they've forgotten to take to swap that out for the personalization tag. But really, we want to go beyond just, hey, first name. Everyone knows that you can insert people's names into emails, okay? So email rates, when we're talking about personalized emails, open rates are actually 82% higher when you put personalization into emails. So I'm really a fan of, yes, you want to make sure that, hey, Prana, you're joining from Adelaide? Perfect. I love Adelaide, have many people I know that are there. So we're talking about email marketing, and I'm talking specifically about hyper-personalization in your emails, going beyond, hey, first name. So I'm really a fan of inserting their name somewhere else in the email. So it's really surprising. Some people do this really, really well. So you might be in the middle of a sentence and you might be like, hey, Evelyn, I know that you're really keen to get your weight loss journey going. Something like that, it really catches your attention and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I am. And so you're much more kind of engaged in that email when you kind of put the name kind of somewhere else. So the other thing that you can do is use other data that you have to personalize this. So things like people's location, sometimes I use that. But like if you do know, somebody, like what's somebody's life situation, for us, we are starting to collect people's avatars. So I would say, hey, I know that personal trainers, blah, 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 or studio owners always kind of do health and fitness and wellness professionals, which everyone is that's kind of a really broad category. I'm bringing it down very specifically and saying, I know the problems of personal trainers. And then if people are a personal trainer, they're listening into that. So it's really just about making people feel like you know them personally, that it's not just a standard email. So start to think about just different ways that you can do that. This could even be something like, let me know if you can still see me. It just went a bit like staticky. But this could even be something like what program people are in. So you might have a whole lot of different classes that people do. And so you could insert that into the email somewhere. Again, avatars, things like that. So making your emails really personalized is important to increase those engagements and really get people, surprise them that what they're doing, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 1 was segmentation is key. Number 2, automation based on behaviors, not timelines. And number 3, hyper-personalization. Now, number 4, this is my last point when we're talking about relevance. Okay, so number 4 is actually use multiple channels. Okay, email is not our only choice anymore. So, a lot of people aren't in emails every day. Personally, I check my emails only twice a day, and I don't have notifications on for emails. I actually don't get that many emails at work. Internally, we don't use emails at all. And so I don't have the need to check emails very often, okay? But obviously some people do, and that's totally okay. But if you can't get through to people on email, then try a different channel. I was speaking to Angela the other day, and she was saying that, sometimes she would just send texts to people instead of emails because people are on text all the time. We're really trying to use different channels to reach people. So if I send out an email, I might also send out a text message that goes with it. Or if I've really been trying to use Facebook Messenger a lot. So I'm using ManyChat and just setting up broadcasts on ManyChat. And I'm seeing, like, if you want to talk about open rates, 98% open rates is pretty good. So if you're looking to really get into people's face, then Facebook Messenger is a really fantastic way to do that. So, weekly, what I'm doing is I'm setting up our email that goes out to all of our database with all of our recent content. And then at the same time, or maybe, the next day or something, I'm sending it out on Facebook Messenger. And so I'm getting a whole different group of people who don't necessarily look at Facebook emails all the time, but they are looking at Facebook, okay? So that's really important to just use all the different channels you have. You don't just have to use email. It's still a great way to get to know or to get through to people, but you can also reach people on a lot of different channels. So now that we have relevancy covered, we had our 4 points. Segmentation is key. Automation based on behaviors and not timelines. Hyper-personalization. Use multiple channels. Let me know. Those are the 4 things. Let me know which one of those 4 that you want to try out. In the next week, the next time you do your emails, let me know. Is it segmentation? Is it the behavior automation? Is it hyper-personalization, or is it using the multiple channels? Put that in the comments. I'd love to know. I don't just want to give out information to you. I want you guys to be able to go and execute something, even if it's just something small, to be able to use that and go and see the results of that. Okay? So put that in the comments, and I'm going to continue on with my next few points. And I really want to talk about content and how to make our content more relevant and to really get it read and engaging with people. So number 1, this is going to sound like a no-brainer, is mobile-centric design, okay? John says he's going to segment. Perfect. I love that. So let's talk about mobile-centric design. So mobile, 55% of emails are opened on mobile devices. Okay, it's a no-brainer. We're all carrying our phones around. And actually 40% of people are deleting emails that are not mobile optimized. That's a lot of people deleting emails that might not be working properly on the mobile. So if you're using ActiveCampaign, you don't have to worry about this. It automatically optimizes your email, so that's great. But you should always, always, always test emails. Now, when we're talking about mobile-centric emails, I would say using things like larger call to action buttons, so they're easy to press on the mobile. Actually, shorter emails are heaps easier to consume on a mobile. So I prefer kind of shorter emails people can consume quickly. And you know, just making sure like font sizes, that kind of thing. Really the only thing that I can tell you here is just send a test and have a look what it looks like on your emails. We used to send a lot of kind of design HTML emails, and what we'd find is that the top banner would take up the whole of the screen on our mobile phones, and it's just like you're just scrolling forever. And so just make sure that you're looking at that email, look at it from your customer's point of view. What are they doing at that time? Maybe they're at work, maybe they're in the line at the grocery store. What is going to be the best email that you can send when they're on their mobile? Because when we're talking about mobile, I like to think of it in terms of like, what's a user doing at that time? Most of the time when I'm on my mobile and I'm checking my phone for emails, which is very rarely, by the way, because I like to have my set times that I actually deal with email. But number one, first thing in the morning when I wake up, I know it's a very bad habit, guys, but I do it because that's just the way the world is. So I'm happy half asleep and checking your email. Number two, at the cafe, when I'm downstairs getting my coffee and I am likely to be interrupted by the barista and have a conversation and then forget your email. I'm likely to see somebody that I know down there. I'm also likely to think this is a terrible, terrible habit. I shouldn't be checking my email. So I might be in a public space and I'm feeling uncomfortable about being alone by myself. These are all the kinds of situations that people are in when they're on their mobile phone and they're checking emails. So make sure that they are easily consumable, that they're easy to read, that they're easy to click and do what you want them to do. Make sure you don't have too many calls to action in them. Just maybe one or two. Be really clear about what you're wanting people to do in that email. That's number one. Make sure that your emails look good on the mobile because more than 50% of people are reading your emails on a mobile phone. And another tip here is if you're asking people to do something, so book in or download or whatever you're asking people to do, make sure that wherever they're going to is also mobile friendly. All right, that's really important. So that was number one. Number two is interactive content. So this is a fun topic, interactive content, because so like I said, design emails are kind of they're not, because we're using our mobile phones, text only emails are actually doing much better in our inbox than designed, like heavily designed emails. But people still do expect a splash of personality from you, okay? So GIFs, everyone loves a GIF. If you don't know what a GIF is, it's one of those pictures, but it's moving at the same time. So it's just like on a bit of a loop. So it might be somebody like putting their hand up, like it's a bit like a boomerang, I'd say. So GIFs are really great once somebody's opened the email to actually capture their attention. I'm a huge fan of GIFs, like right up here, like as soon as somebody opens it, always makes me look deeper into that email, okay? The other thing that you can do, and this is very experimental at the moment, is put different quizzes or polls in your email. It's very experimental. I haven't actually done it yet. And I think I'm still a fan of images and emails, all of that kind of thing. I think interactive content is going to foster more and more engagement in your emails. So whenever you can be a little bit kind of creative and put interactive content into your email, that's going to be great. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, storytelling still rules. Okay, sometimes we forget that marketing is about the stories that we tell. Okay, it's the stories that we tell about our customers. It's the stories we tell about ourselves. And your highest read emails are always going to be the ones where you tell a really powerful story. And guys, you guys have such a great, you're in such a great industry where you do have amazing and powerful stories of people's transformations, of what people are doing in your training, through your nutrition programs, your wellness programs, whatever they are, and you need to just tell those stories. And so when you're talking about content and when you're thinking about the content that you can share, some of the best content that you're going to be able to share is the stories that are coming up in your studio, in your personal training. Tell your own story. Maybe you've got a really amazing story. So anytime you can incorporate storytelling into your emails is going to be really, really powerful. Okay, so they're my 3 points on mobile-centric design, interactive content, and then storytelling still rules. Now, I know you guys love my bonus points, so I have a bonus point for you. If you're ready for that bonus, then write bonus in the comments. I am not going to do it until I see you guys writing bonus. It's a really juicy point, okay? And it's one of my faves. So if you're ready for the bonus, write bonus, and then we can get started. So remember, we're talking about email marketing is dead, or is it dead, is it not? And the fact that a lot of people have unread emails in their inbox because they're not relevant to them. They're just not relevant anymore. So we've been talking all about relevancy. We've been talking all about the content that you can put in your emails. And now I'm going to talk about the bonus, okay? John says, pretty please. I love bonuses. Sharon says bonus. Okay, ready for the bonus. Your bonus point is stop growing your email lists, okay? All right, don't exactly stop growing your email list. That's not exactly what I mean. But it's not about the biggest list, okay, guys? It's about the engaged list. So if you have 5,000 people on your database, but you're only getting 10% of people opening, you have a problem. You either have a problem that the segmentation just isn't right, but you might just have a problem that those people are just not right for you. And it's totally okay to let those people go. And actually, it's much better for you if you let those people go and maybe you go down to 1,000 people in your email list, but they're all hyper engaged and they love you and they love what you're doing, okay? So here's a few points around that. Regularly unsubscribe people from your lists. Okay, if you've had somebody on your list for the last 10 years and they haven't opened any of your emails, get rid of them, okay? Unsubscribe them from your list. It's really easy to do reports like this, and regularly I prune people from our list who are not engaged. Now, caveat on that, give them a warning. Now, I've got many of these emails. I'm always impressed. And actually, it always just keeps me on people's list, which is probably not the best. But I've got an email from a girl I follow. She's a nutritionist. And I hadn't really opened many of her emails. I follow her a lot on social media. But like I said, I don't engage in a lot of emails. So I got this email from her. And again, right person, right time, right content. It was an email saying, hey, look, I've noticed that you're not opening that many of my emails. And I'm just wondering if they're relevant to you. If they're not, in like 7 days, I'm just going to remove you from my email list. If you open this email, then you're safe, okay? But if you don't, I'm just going to take you off. And so at least that gives somebody a bit of a warning. And I actually was like, yeah, I do want to continue to get your emails. Like, thank you. But for anyone who didn't open that email, she could just take them off, and they're already not engaging with her. So it's totally okay to unsubscribe people, guys, because at the end of the day, and this gets down to kind of a technical aspect, if you are getting really low open rates, your email provider knows that. Okay, and it actually gets to a very dangerous level in that if people are marking you as spam, if they're unsubscribing themselves, and if people are really low, or if your email is getting low open rates, then your email marketing provider may blacklist you. They may stop sending out emails for you because like all of those points lead to a very disengaged list. And the spam laws are really, they're really strict about this, and about emailing people who want to be on your list, who have opted in for your list, that kind of thing. So don't be afraid if people are not engaging. Definitely try to re-engage them. But if they're not re-engaged, then it might be okay to unsubscribe. Now, the other thing is, please don't hide your unsubscribe buttons. I know that a lot of people really like to do this, but actually about 50% of people, if they cannot find an unsubscribe button, they will mark you as spam, and that is even worse. It's an even worse indicator than an unsubscribe. So don't hide your unsubscribe button. If people are not interested in what you are giving them, let them unsubscribe. Guys, this is really super important. It does not matter. The size of your list does not matter if you are irrelevant to people. And if they're not interested, and maybe at some point they were really engaged, but now they're at a different point in their life, that kind of thing, please just, I knew people who looked at every unsubscribe and got so upset, but you just got to let people move on. Guys, there is so much out there, and there's so many new people ready to join your list and to love you and to engage with you. If people don't want to do that, you cannot make them come along, okay? So that's really my bonus point. Just stop growing your email list and just make sure that you've got the right people on your list, because that's how you're going to be able to get to this right people, right time, right content. Okay, it's all about relevancy. It's all about making sure that you have the right people on your list, that you're sending the right people the right things, and that kind of thing. So now Praz asks, may sound silly, but how often should we send emails to members, non-members? It's a really great question and not silly at all. Guys, if you have any other questions that you want me to answer on the live, put them in the comments now, because I'll be able to answer them quickly. So look, we kind of have kind of once a week kind of rule, I would say, here. So we try and email people once a week. That doesn't include kind of automated emails that they get and that kind of thing. So I would, this is a question that I would actually test with people, okay? So either ask your people. So some people actually have this when people subscribe is, how often would you like us to email? Once a week, once a fortnight, once a month. And so you can actually let people tell you when is a good time to email. Another thing is just to test it out. So test out for a month, emailing people every week, and then see what your open rates are like. Then you might test out emailing twice a week or once a fortnight or that kind of thing, and just do a general test of that, because it's going to be different for different kinds of people, and different segments of your database may want to get emailed at different times as well. Okay, so I like to ask people because I think that's the easiest way, and also look at their behaviors. So if you start emailing, every single day, is your email rate dropping? People don't want to get emails every day, that kind of thing. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining me on the live. This is a really fun one for me to do. I love talking about email marketing. It's one of my favorite things. And if you're on the live last week, or you didn't get to catch it, my second favorite thing, or kind of equal, is Facebook marketing. So if you didn't get to watch that, make sure you go back and watch it. If you are watching the replay, please let me know that you're watching the replay. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'd love to be able to talk about email marketing with you, and let me know if you're trying segmentation, if you're trying personalization. Let me know your results. I'd love to hear them. Ian says monthly newsletter with say 5 items or 5 separate emails. I'd like to see you send 5 separate emails. Monthly is a very long time to be talking to your people. But if you can segment those emails, I think that you'll find a good balance in there, and some good open rates. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining the live. We'll see you again next week for Crush Wednesday. Richard will be back. And we're also going to bring you some brand new presenters. Some of our team are going to hop on, and we really want to do some of these really kind of hands-on topics that center around marketing and that kind of thing. So if you've got anything you want us to talk about, then let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Till then, make sure that you crush your Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, guys, and make sure that you are, crushing it till Friday and through the weekend. Anyway, see ya.
Crush.